Guys, yes, if you couldn't tell by that music,
we're using my Paper Mario A Thousand Year Door for soundtrack because I can't be bothered to.
Yeah, you can't. It's fine. I'm kind of too lazy for this. But yes, on a side note, Alex, we finally found
it. I finally
it.
got a copy of Paper Mario.
My game still hasn't come in yet.
He's looking for Melee.
It's currently on a list. I'm currently on a wait list. But that's not about lucky finds. And this is a different type of video. A top 5. What is it? You're probably wondering. A top 5 monster video? No. A top 5...
a hottest characters video?
No. It's a gaming top 5.
For once.
Yeah, that's not overdone.
Yeah.
On our channel. Christian Whitehead, or as Alex likes to call him,
Damien
and Robert.
Damien Robert. Small March personified.
Small March personified.
He really looks like Damien and Robert from Dream Daddy fused.
And his partner Simon Tomley, aka
Brian.
It's fucking Brian Harding. I'm sorry,
Forgive me, I love Dream Daddy too much.
Yeah,
I love the Dream Daddy too much.
People could tell. Oh.
I'm sure everyone knew how much I loved Dream Daddy.
Yeah, if those gallery videos proved anything. Okay, but that is not what this is about. Taxman, aka Taxman and Stealth. Oh, people widely known among the Sonic fan community. You have done on their work with the retro, with Christian's retro engine. Believe
it or not, I've had involvement with a couple of official Sega projects.
Sonic Mania and remaking in Sonic 1, 2, and CD.
Remaking Sonic 1, 2, which includes remaking Sonic 1, 2, and CD, and being part of the primary development team in Mania.
However, he meant when someone asked, can the retro engine work with other games?
He said, yes, of course.
And he brought up 2 examples that you'll see later on the list. So, this is top 5 Sega games Christian Whitehead should remake. Yes, these are all Sega games.
Yeah,
so... starting off with the least likely... If you remember the start of Sonic-tober...
Well, we made a video about Sonic CD.
No, Sonic Unleashed.
Sonic Unleashed.
And before we covered the actual game, we looked at the shitty
mobile port.
Well, it's technically not a port.
It's more of just a...
alternative.
Cash grab marketing on the game.
It was definitely designed for... When I played it, I was fucking disappointed. It wasn't for Android and iOS. It was for Java flip phones.
So, of course, the game is poor quality. The level design isn't too bad. It's the fact that the game controls...
It's like fucking shit.
Yeah, that it controls like a smelly... That controls like a candle, or it controls it controls like a car wheel, covered in honey while you're high on meth.
What? Honestly, I think if Christian, if Taxman can make a game, a Sonic CD better, he can definitely make this.
Definitely make this
moving on. But with that being said, this is kind of unlikely. Number 4. Remember I mentioned in an interview, or I brought up an interview, if the retro engine had worked with other games, and he brought up an example. 2 examples.
One of these examples
is Rystar.
A game I personally love. I was never able to beat like the fourth world, but
It was the thing is we played it on that terrible old Genesis.
This thing, so there's no progress saved or anything. If I ever get a computer that can run a Genesis emulator without lagging at all,
Fusion doesn't lag that much.
If I ever bother to download Fusion, it's definitely gonna be one of the first games I get.
Yeah, I only downloaded Fusion. At first, I downloaded Fusion for Wily Wars, then it got stuck with hacks. Okay, but Rystar is kind of Rystar's origins are actually fucking really interesting. The idea came from a failed pitch to Sega of a mascot up before Sonic. Of a light blue rabbit named who would grab enemies with his ears and throw them. Grab boxes with his ears and throw them at enemies. Sega thought the game would be too slow. And wouldn't be simple
enough to be a company mascot.
So they turned it into Rystar.
It was an early Genesis game.
It came out in '93.
Which was how many years after the Genesis came out?
Came out in '89. It was kind of a late Genesis title.
It was a late Genesis title.
The game also has a Game Gear counterpart,
which isn't as good.
And you could barely
more story.
You could barely play it. It is what you said.
Yeah.
But that's enough. That's kind of enough of Rystar on the list.
Basically,
Alex wants to.
I want to see this game remade and make an easier access version of it.
Sure, it's on iOS. Yes, but that version is.
Are you really going to play the iOS version of Rystar?
It's a half-assed emulate. It's half-assed emulation, and the required there's micro and in-app purchases.
Just to play the full thing.
Well, you can't save state unless you
in-app purchases to save the game.
Yeah, but number 3, another game he mentioned. The game that's never only been re-released once, but for a limited time.
And one of those games that's either love it or hate it. The game we're talking about is, of course, Knuckles Chaotix.
Or Chaotix featuring Knuckles. If you want to go by the Japanese term.
If you want to go with the Japanese title, Chaotix featuring Knuckles.
Welcome to the next level in Super 32X World.
Yeah, welcome to the next level in Super 32X World.
Or, as everyone else calls it, Knuckles Chaotix. But it's a game that from what I've seen, is mostly regarded as being a bad game.
Though there are a few people that love the game.
I mean, the game's music and graphics are great. The thing is, it was released on Sega's Dead on Arrival or 32X. And it's never only been re-released briefly in Game Tap, which I'm pretty sure is an online site, which is an online service. But like I said, it was a brief period of time. In the early 2000s. And then, nope, not even a virtual console re-release? No. Xbox Live or PSN? No. Oh, a Steam release? No. Oh, thing is now we can talk about what?
Never mind. I'm just saying these guys always heal a partner I don't need healed.
Now we can, and I can talk about what a Whitehead could do to make the game better. First off, he could shorten the game, and making zones only 2 to 3 acts, only 3 acts long instead of 5. You know that?
Yeah.
I've made levels way smaller, or so it isn't a total drag, and alongside re-adding in Sonic and Tails else into the game, because of the prototype, because of the glitchy prototype Sonic crackers. You're the one who should be talking. You should be talking.
Yeah, but I don't know much about a lot of these.
Yeah, they could and hell, they could leave in Mighty, and put in the glitch character, put in the glitch, it's the kid in as somewhat of an Easter egg.
Like, or maybe even an in-level boss at some point.
Honestly, Knuckles Chaotix needs a little more, or it just needs to be re-released overall.
Maybe cut off a few of the unnecessary levels.
Then short.
Or change up the level design.
Make the game, if you can't make it shorter, or change the level design.
Instead of making you play through the same levels.
Which are too big with no enemies. And people need to know more. Not a lot of people are aware of the game, and because, like I said, he was on the 32X.
Which was dead before he took off.
Yeah, but number 2 is a more interesting one.
Yeah.
This wasn't that. Now these next 2 weren't even mentioned, weren't even brought up in an interview. But number 2, oh my! You might remember last month I did a review, did my review for Sonic 4, and if you remember my opinion, I really didn't like it. It's so and plus I really didn't like the game. So that's exactly why I want to see Taxman and remake it. And he could fix proper momentum and game physics. And most importantly, make the game fun. Yes, I'm going for this. It's pick. I'm going for both episodes.
Consider 2 halves the same game.
Okay, so overall, that's honestly why I want to see the game and give it redone by Taxman and make it better overall. However, before we get to number 1, I want to go over my list of honorable mentions. First off is Sonic 3. A lot of people probably would have expected that on the list, but thing is, Christian and Simon I pitching this to Sega,
and they denied it.
Why, you may ask? Well, either Sega is a bunch of assholes, or legal issues with the music.
Probably the latter.
The game even had some. What makes me even more pissed that this wasn't made, it was a plan they had.
Yeah?
Make a multiplayer level was in single player.
Totally making them into full-fledged stages.
Something I didn't mention was that Sonic 3 had multiplayer, but instead of just us having in normal existing stages like Sonic 2 did, it had 5 multiplayer stage or levels.
5 multiplayer.
Those being in Azure Lake, Balloon Park, or Desert Palette. It's Chrome Gadget and Endless Mine. You could play it separate, play them separately, play them alone, but you still have that stretched split screen image. If you really want to play the best version of Sonic 3 right now, I know this might sound ridiculous, but get an emulator or buy it physically. Buy it from from Etsy or some shit. It's the hack known as Sonic 3 Complete. It's the closest we're getting to to a definitive experience of Sonic 3. Now the other honorable mentions I decided to put into one category. The 8 Game Gear / Master System. Name is Sonic 1, 2, Chaos, Triple Trouble, and Tails Adventure. Or once again, very overlooked hidden gem for the most part. Hidden gems. No, Blast.
You didn't say a blast.
Chaos.
People can't tell what you're talking about.
I meant, if you're wondering why I made that sound, I was talking about Sonic Blast.
We all know about Sonic Blast.
It sucks.
Don't get me involved.
Okay. So, but that's my list of honorable mentions. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's... that was basically a top 6 honorable mentions. 6 things I want. 6 games that didn't quite make the list. Now, number 1 might actually, I hate to make this joke, but shock you. Now, if you didn't know, Game Freak's history in terms of making video games, one of their earliest, a game 2 years before or Pokemon happened.
Pulseman.
And it was released only on the Mega Drive. I've sent. Why did I say a Mega Drive? It was only released physically in Japan and Europe, and in America, we got screwed over big time. Why? It was only released from the Sega channel, which not a lot of people had. I downloaded the game for less than $10. It was on the Wii eShop channel. Well,
concept is good, but there's a few too many issues.
Dated problems. The game came out in '94. You know what else came out in '94 for the Genesis? Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah.
The game had a save feature. Most games had a save feature.
At that point.
Right, so Postman still relies on unlimited continues. That would be fine, but the game is way too long for that, and it has some serious issues. For one thing, and there's an infamous glitch in state age 5,
where you can get stuck permanently.
and you must reset the game.
By messing up your
By messing up the volt test. That's right.
By messing up the volt tester / volt tap, was it?
Yeah. Thing it, and well, another thing, it is that the game is way too fucking hard. Are for only 5 continues. You heard me. Only 5.
Yep.
I've continued. So I deleted the game. I fucking deleted the game. And because it was too much. No, I didn't even decide to get it from. No, I didn't even decide to download it. On for Fusion. So that is honestly why I think it. I know that sounds even more more far-fetched than an Unleashed on mobile. But hey, this is my opinion. And it's not a list of what's like the most likely or not. So with that being said, guys, that concludes my my top 5 list. So with that being said, I'm Northern.
I'm Aaron.
Signing out.